Well, I'm back with this spooky story for you where we have a ghost writer. No. Not the ones who write anonymously for established writers, but we have a real ghost who helps a writer to get ideas to write a story. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? Or maybe even scary. Let's find out. But hang on there. First, I am going to introduce you to the author of this story, A Shady Plot. L.C. Brown. L.C. Brown was an American author. She is known for her short stories, and very often they were about ghosts and supernatural beings. Some of her popular works include A Shady Plot, which we're doing right now, and Hat. A Shady Plot is one of the short stories from the collection. Humorous ghost stories edited by the American writer Dr. Dorothy Scarborough. Now, so from the name of the collection, only one can guess that A Shady Plot is not going to be scary, but a humorous ghost story. So you see, I have some fun time in store for you. So, often writers reach a stage called a writer's block. And this is a condition where a writer becomes unable to think of what to write or how to proceed with writing. And this is a common problem for a writer. Now, in the story A Shady Plot by L.C. Brown, John Halleck, a writer, is in a similar situation. His publisher Jenkins had asked him to write a ghost story and he has no idea what to write. Usually he's full of ideas, but this time he just goes blank, like you and I have done before in an exam, for instance. And he cannot think of any ideas. No beginning, no plot, no climax. So let us read the story and find out where the story goes eventually. A Shady Plot by L.C. Brown. So I sat down to write a ghost story. Jenkins was responsible. Halleck, he said to me, give us another on the supernatural this time. Something to give him the horrors. That's what the public wants. And your ghosts are live propositions. Well, I was in no position to contradict Jenkins, for as yet, his magazine had been the only one to print my stuff. So I said, precisely, in the deepest voice that I was capable of, and had gone out. I hadn't the shade of an idea, but at the time, that didn't worry me in the least. You see, I had often been like that before, and in the end, things had always come my way. I didn't in the least know how or why. It had all been rather mysterious. You understand, I didn't specialize in ghost stories, but more or less, they seemed to specialize in me. A ghost story had been the first fiction I had written. Curious how that idea for a plot had come to me out of nowhere after I had chased inspiration in vain for months. Even now, whenever Jenkins wanted a ghost, he called on me. I had never found it healthy to contradict Jenkins. Jenkins always seemed to have an uncanny knowledge as to when the landlord or the grocer was pestering me and dunned me for a ghost. And somehow I'd always been able to dig one up for him. So I'd begun to get a bit cocky as to my ability. I went home and sat down before my desk and sucked at the end of my pencil and waited, but nothing happened. Pretty soon my mind began to wander off on other things, decidedly unghostly and material things, such as my wife's shopping and how on earth I was going to cure her of her alarming tendency to take every new fad that came along and work it to death. But I realized that would never get me any place, so I went back to staring at the ceiling. This writing business is delightful, isn't it? I said sarcastically, at last out loud too. You see, I had reached the stage of imbecility when I was talking to myself. Yes, said a voice at the other end of the room. I should say it is. I admit I jumped, and then I looked around. The story starts with the narrator telling us about an incident from his life. And at the very beginning of the story, we get to know that the narrator was a writer too. He told us about his name, Halleck. So far, we got to know that. We knew that his publisher, Jenkins, another piece of information, Jenkins's insistence, unwillingly, he had agreed to write yet another short story on supernatural powers for him. And Jenkins made it very clear that the story has to be interesting. And it should be very scary, as the readers loved reading scary stuff. You know, Jenkins had complimented the narrator that the ghosts in his stories are very close to real ghosts, and that's what made his ghost stories hot sellers. Though the narrator had no other options but to agree, he did that in a very deep voice, which clearly indicated reluctance. Now, John had no idea or plot in his mind to write about a ghost story, but he was not worried after accepting Jenkins's offer. Even earlier, whenever he sat down to write a story, he would be clueless, and then suddenly a story would come into his mind out of nowhere. John feels that it was not he who specialized in the ghost stories, but rather the ghost stories specialized in him, as they came up in his mind all of a sudden out of nowhere. But the first fictional story that he had written was a ghost story, and he still has no idea how all of a sudden ghost stories would, come up in his mind while he had been without anything for so long. Whenever Jenkins called up John for yet another ghost story, John would be unable to refuse him. He feels that Jenkins knew that he was being troubled by either the landlord for rent or the grocer for clearing the bill, as he would be in need of money. He was forced into writing another ghost story. Even John does not know how, but he would be able to write one, and so he had started feeling overconfident about his writing abilities. Back home, he sat to write another ghost story. He was waiting for an idea to strike him, but none did. He started thinking of his wife's craze for shopping, and he wanted her to get rid of the habit of taking up any new fashion fad and continuing it till she got bored of it, or till another new fashion fad came up. John realized that he could do nothing to cure her, so he resumed thinking of an idea for the story. John was so irritated at the lack of ideas that he just lost his mind and started talking to himself. But then he was shocked to get a reply, as there was no one else in the room. He jumped up in surprise and looked around to find someone. Ooh. Was that our friendly ghost or someone else? I know you want to read the story further, and we shall do it. Tutormate. For more amazing video lectures, download the free app on the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store.